She said that she hate me, I hate me too. I can always tell when you're lying, girl, you're see-through. All these miles away, yeah, I just wanna see you. Baby, give me good face, she hit me like seafood. Remember when I saw you, hi, it's nice to meet you. Know my old girl salty, she just wanna be you. I'm a dog, no Maltese, I don't wanna leave you. Once you're right here, I just don't wanna mistreat you, no. Cause I've been a douchebag before, baby girl, I don't wanna repeat. She just won't please me, she look in my eyes, told me why are you bleeding? And I don't even know how to answer. I take these drugs to my bladder. She says she noticed a pattern, she say I look gorgeous, I tell her I'm flattered. But I hate my reflection, when I look at you all I see is perfection. I'm so depressed and I don't know the reason, just wanna feel better. Hate my reflection, when I look at you all I see is perfection. I'm so depressed and I don't know the reason, just hope I feel better. Don't know the reason, just hope I feel better. I just hope I feel better. You said that you love me, don't know if it's still true. Hate it when you're not here, love it when I'm with you. You say you don't trust me, all the shit we've been through. Why you always upset? I don't really get you, I don't really get you. Why should I always gotta be so stressful? Baby, can you tell me why are you so vengeful? I don't understand you, I can't live without you, but I can't fucking stand you. I'm just so obsessed, I should take better care of myself, but fuck it. Blacked out in public, on that like she upset, but I know she love it. I hate my reflection, when I look at you all I see is perfection. I'm so depressed and I don't know the reason, just wanna feel better. Hate my reflection, when I look at you all I see is perfection. I'm so depressed and I don't know the reason, just hope I feel better. Don't know the reason, just hope I feel better. I just hope.
Here, Alchemist, Lana, Moody, Wordsmith. It's been a while. We're here at the gallery and we're excited. We had to do some reconstruction and we're excited to present our itinerary, our topics. We're really excited to build out. Shout out to all the operatives and we are really Wordsmith. Shout out to all the individuals that's connected to reaching out to Wordsmith and the people that have been supporting us, but we're really going to continue to be impactful here on Fibonacci Radio, Fibonacci Live, and check us out on our website. We're at the Gallery, Galleria de Arte, and man, we ready to get this cracking. Wordsmith, talk to us.
Yes, we are. So I'll get right to it. So the word of the week is Kevin Samuels. Now, when you say Kevin Samuels, a lot comes with that word.
Did you have to Wikipedia?
No.
No. So this is the first time Wordsmith done Wikipedia something. All right, y'all better take note of this. He is very, very, very acute.
And then, so the topic to go along with that word is, what does this shit really mean? And I think that's a very, very great topic to have as it relates to Kevin Samuels, because what does this shit really mean? We'll get to the root of it today.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So, so that's what it's all about.
So I'm jumping it off with Moody.
Hello.
We going straight in.
Yes.
We want, hey, you guys come call us, support. We will have a call-in action coming soon where you're going to be able to call in for our lives. We will be really marketing our lives a lot because we want to we want to interface with our people, with the audience all over the world. And, you know, we're really also cultivating our community, and Moody is one of the younger individuals in our community. She also works in the gallery, so we want to support that. We want to bring Moody forth, and I'm also teasing her because this girl done lost 10 pounds, and so I don't know if she's coming out with a fitness video soon. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But I'm excited. We're really excited to go really in a kind of start from different angles. We'll continue to go where we're going in our mission, and we're gonna start jumping it off with Moody's opinion, and we're gonna engage from your opinion, Moody. So you are going to jump it off. I'm in your grill. Let's talk about it, gangster. Let's talk about it. Let's do this. So we want to know what's up, man. What you think about Kevin Samuels? Come on now. This the one. This the podcast, y'all. Y'all take notes.
So I haven't watched too many of his videos, but the ones that I've seen, it just, in my opinion, it's the videos and podcasts and talk shows are like consumed with the same kind of topic, the same kind of outline, or the same like social conversation. You know what I'm saying? So he really came out in like his own way. He's established himself very far from what I know. He's very big. Like, you know, I can't excuse me, deny that. But I just also I see like two sides of it, I guess. Like a lot of what he's saying, like I can agree with. It's logical, some you know, but a lot of it also is not what I think, and I also think that his opinions kind of contradict them a little bit, and I think that's what is hard for me to understand about his entire brand, I guess, about this social topic that everyone else is also doing. So, yeah, I don't know. He's himself. He's he's knowledgeable, but he's also kind of an asshole. And like,
that's facts.
I feel like his personality. I feel like with your personality, like it's there's nothing.
But you know what though?
You know
what though? Like salesmen are assholes. And I'm going to be honest with you. He is a master salesman. You know what I mean? If you really study him, if you really and that's what we're talking about today. We want to really get, more in depth about Kevin Samuels, his philosophy, the pros and cons on his particular points of views. And making the statement that he's an asshole is very accurate. And I think that's one of the things that make him a discussion, is because it becomes kind of like people have indifferent points of views. Lana, I'll give my opinion. You can, if you want to give me your point of view first, I can give you mine. But we want to, on the panel right here, we want to really tell everybody.
I'll let you go.
You let me go?
I'll
Okay.
let you go.
Thank you.
She's
Thank
being
you,
gracious
guys.
this week.
I'm very honored that Lana allowed Alchemist to go
I'm
ahead
not gonna
and
play with y'all.
break it down. She's going to close it out with her point of view
my
in this particular segment. So, my opinion about Kevin Samuels, and I like how she's piggybacking off my dialogue because she's very crafty, she's very intelligent. So, but I'm going to get you. I'm going to get you, Lana.
I appreciate
Lana,
it.
I got you, Lana. I'm going to get you, though.
We'll see.
Okay, stay tuned. All right. So, Kevin Samuels is a man of principles. And I believe part of the disdainment with Kevin Samuels is his principles and the factors that incorporate or decide on the value, not necessarily the value, or some of the factors that's involved with his principles. I don't think that he's clear. I think sometimes he's not transparent as far as practicality with the audience, with his demographics. And Lana, you was talking about that earlier before we got on, when we hit the set, is that he's definitely not as practical. I still don't believe that takes away from his principles and the fundamentals of what he's breaking down. I believe that he's for the black family, and I also feel that anytime somebody's out to check black people, it's always a bad kickback. Anytime there's somebody that stands out there and starts talking about what black people need to do, we ain't gonna like that one very much. But all in all, you still have a person that's worth 500,000 views every other day. You can't really get to 500,000 views every other day without having something of substance.
Right.
And so that's why I said the black family, because there's so many people, whether it's the toxic people, the non-toxic people, whether it's the person that doesn't even fit those categories, but still maybe wanting to get married one day and didn't have a mother or a father to give him direction. So I think so to conclude my point of view about him, I think he's a man of principles and a vast amount of knowledge. And knowledge meaning that not lies and not opinions. I mean he's based with principles. Knowledge is based on facts and principles. So I think that's a reflection of us in a society, as a black society.
Okay.
So I think we're not comfortable with getting chastised. I think
he's a purpose, and part of his purpose is for him to share his principles and knowledge for the black family.
Yep, and it's going to be like medicine.
So I feel like I don't disagree with some of the things that Kevin Samuel says. I think for me, it's more how he delivers it that I disagree with it. So even though he may be standing on solid principles, the fact that he's coming off as like a sleazy salesman to me, or just like he comes off as somebody like, even though I know that you're telling me 2 + 2 is 4, the way that you're saying it makes me feel like you're lying. You know what I mean? It's like, I think that's the disconnect. And then because he is such an asshole and he stands on it, if you're going to have that persona and you're going to stand 10 toes down, then why do we have gray area? Like, it's either, if you're standing 10 tones down or whatever, and this is the energy that you're putting out, like when he does critique women, I'm saying when he does critique, when he has those moments where he's controversial, he's provoking, right? He knows that what he's saying is going to strike a chord and piss people off, right? And you're standing 10 toes down with that. Well, now that you're putting that confrontational energy out there, whether it's intentional or not, he's smart enough to be aware that this is going to be the response that he's going to receive. So if you're sitting here and you make me feel like I'm defending whatever position because I don't agree with you, and you're going so hard, and then all of a sudden your line ain't as clear no more, it's like, then to me, in that space, you start to lose the position that you're presenting, or because the energy is not consistent now. Now it's like, well, wait, I was going back and forth with you because you firmly believe this, but now you're learning to present it in a way where it still falls under principle, but it doesn't match the temp or the speed you was at before, and that goes back to that sleazy salesperson shit. Like, yeah, okay, so technically you could reword it to match what you're saying, but the way you just did that, I just don't like it.
It's just harsh. He's got a personality on him, and it's like any controversial person or any popular person, like they tend to have a personality. So like that is part of the reason why. I mean, like I said, being an asshole. I mean, him being an asshole trait. It's not bad. It's not bad. Like, I'm not knocking him. I'm just saying, like, how his delivery is. You know, like, this is just what's gonna happen. Like how Lana was saying, and I think what he has to say is kind of like I value some of his points and things. But, you know, he's not going to get as far in this society being the way that I would say he is being. Or, like, maybe people aren't just going to accept him. Maybe there's, like, a double-edged sword.
Well, okay, for one, again, 500,000 views there's an acceptance. You know what I'm saying? And we all measure our social media. We all measure these things on a sociological level, on who has an impact, on who's being watched, who's trending, and for what reason. He leads the charge on that trend. The thing that I feel like most women, because he's really mainly getting at women. He started out with men for 10 years, but what happened was the men were complaining. Okay, so what he's saying is that the men been complaining for years and years and years. I've talked to the men that got divorced. I've talked to the men that been in relationships.
Right.
And he's saying, this is the information that I got from them. So I think sometimes women chime in and check him out and forget that this is not really him that's making this up by himself. This is him with data. And this is him that actually got information from the male public over years, all colors, all nationalities. So I think that because what he's talking about and how direct he is and how it's so relatable, whether it's to someone directly, it's to them indirectly. It might not be them, but it's a guy they mess with that didn't have respect for that, or a guy that messed with that believed that, but he ain't that. Or it's another person that's got some advice from him or heard him or used his advice for something. So it's just, if it's not direct, it's indirect. But the reality is that he's taking the information that males have given him in society, and I think the friction is that men stop being heard. We talked about that on the podcast when we were talking. I forgot what the actual topic was. Where Smith chimed in if you can remember, but we were just talking about how it's different when a woman has economic security, when a woman has certain stabilities where she really doesn't need a man. You know what I mean? Then it's kind of hard to hear men. We were just discussing that. Hey, if you don't have what I need or what I want, or you know what I mean, that I can dismiss you.
Was it hypergamy? The hypergamy episode?
No, it was the one about the book.
A boy crisis?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
The boy crisis. And so what we were talking about in that, we're not going to get on that. We're sticking to the topic here, but to relate is that we were just saying, I think he's just saying how women have been ignoring men, and he wants to be the voice of men. And I think that right there is where the tension comes in, because he's standing on it with facts, and he's standing on it with statistics, facts, data, and he's getting it from his own people.
Well, see, this is the thing. So, like, because I've seen some of his videos, and I don't necessarily disagree with some of the critiques that he was given. Like, not even on I'm not talking about the physical part, but it's just like sometimes I see women, or not even women, men, like, you want so much out of somebody, but you're not that yourself. Like, I'm a firm believer in whatever I'm putting out there, that's the minimum that I expect to receive back. I'm not going to.
Most people can't handle that.
No, I know. So what I'm saying is, but that's not exclusive to a gender. So my point is, so when he brings it up, when he talks to women and they get all like mad and upset, it's like, well, I'm not disagreeing with him, because, sweetheart, if you were my friend, I would tell you the same shit as a female. But the thing is, what we also have to understand is, it was so long that women did not have a voice. Then when women were given the opportunity to have a voice, did we go crazy with it? You damn right. It was old. Now we're in an era where we need to find balance, because just because women was given a voice, I don't agree with, I don't think that men should not be heard, and I don't think that everything that comes out of a female's mouth is correct. Now we're in a space where, since we both are given the opportunity to speak our minds and have an opinion, let's find an equal balance between the two.
I think the philosophy is not even like that, and I don't agree with it. I think women are getting ignored, because it's usually a cause and effect. It's usually a dualistically. It's usually a action and a reaction. And I think once women start doubling down in our society, really not, the men are men. We're not women. We're not going to come across the board in a meek manner. We're going to say, this your problem.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's really and like Kevin Samuels is explaining to women, is that it makes it a rougher problem for you than it does men. So women are like, well, why does it? Women are trying to figure out, if we're here at this spot where, like you're saying, hey, well, let's meet up. Men saying, I don't gotta meet up. Men are saying, no, you come further. Mm-hmm. Okay, so once they say that, and once he's explaining that women should do it, now the question is, why should women extend out further? So he's saying the reason why, like we talked about our society, is that women are going to be at a disadvantage when it comes to the whole complete cycle of life and survival. So that's what I mean by he's caring about the black family now, because the reality is that men can continue to go on and get along, but women are gonna have to get protected. Women, just by the size of a woman, just by women being small, some women being there's so much innately needed from a man. So the whole thing was, for 10 years he talked about men and really what their issues was. He talked about what they want. And he just found out that they're not getting the things that they want in a relationship.
But I'm sorry, not in a relationship, but as far as dating. Right, but I also feel like just on some just real shit, like, I feel like a lot of times men are crybabies. Like, they have, like, I feel like one man, or a man, has at least one time in his life had a woman that's given him all of these things. Like, I know women in relationships that work full-time jobs, that cook, that clean up, that do all of these things, that cater and do the same shit that he does every single day without a 50-50 contribution from his part, and they still have the audacity to kick their feet up on a table and complain that so what I'm saying is that she may not be in shape, or she may not be this, or she may not be, just whatever, as if she has the time to even have that. So, like, for me, sometimes when I see men and I hear men complain about things, like, I have guy friends too, they complain about their girl, and then when she's gone, you're not finding anybody else that's willing to even go through the lengths that she went through to deal with you, but you ran off with the chick that, you know what I'm saying?
I'm agreeing with you, but I want you to get my point of view. It's the same effect on men. So now they both canceled each other out.
Right.
Okay, so now that they're canceled out,
right.
Okay, so now where we are now is like Kevin Samuels come back and play. Who's gonna suffer the most? If we really start going on this planet in another 20 years from now, which gender out of the two, we're not talking about that it's supposed to be a fight. Mm-hmm. We're just saying, if it continues to go the way it's going, which group will suffer the most? it's not a both at the same time thing. What he's saying.
I personally think the men are going to end up suffering.
Okay, and the reason why his statistics come into play, because the statistics prove otherwise. Meaning that how we feel and what the statistics say and how it's trending is something different.
So let's talk about numbers though, because right now there's more women on Earth than there are males. So what I'm saying is, right now we're at what, 4-to-1 or something. It's something like the ratio. So my point is, if women are in a space and then there's more of us, where we feel like we can double down and we can speak up for ourselves, what I think is going to happen is that.
But what you mean by like double? Like, give me an example.
Like, it's like, let's say, okay, so right now, like, as far as like right now, it's a female movement, right? It's gaining equality. It's getting to a point where we are outnumbering men. So what I'm saying is, it's gonna, if out of survival, if I'm outnumbering men, or if I'm able to move how I want to move, and I want to make this work with this guy, but now the numbers are in my favor to where more women understand how I feel and maybe more biased.
Here's the problem with that.
What?
We're talking about, if you don't need a man, then that's a great topic. That's a great thing.
Right.
But if you're moving to have a man and have a nucleus and a family.
Oh, you're talking about in that. Oh, okay. Because I was like, gotcha.
But I'm saying his thing is based on the black family. You know what I'm saying? So in the end, the success of the black family is what the preservation is. So that's why I said, okay, if it's more women than men, then it's women's disadvantage. You know what I'm saying? It's said a woman's disadvantage in general by the numbers, not by her not moving correctly.
Okay.
She can move perfectly, and she's, you know what I mean, she's just at a disadvantage because of, incarceration, because of other things that we've been hindered by. You know what I mean? No one intentionally put it there, but us as the Black Holocaust and the disenfranchisement put, what he's trying to translate is that it put black women the most disenfranchised, and black women don't know because of marketing. You know what I'm saying? Just simply marketing, simply saying empower yourself, talk what you want, say what you want, but statistically, jobs really don't support that. You know what I'm saying? As far as what women really make and what women real opportunities are. And if any one of them women have 1 or 2 kids, those numbers, they don't.
That's why I say for now, because at the rate that we're going at, it's going to come to a point where it's going to be more women. Like, if there's naturally just more people and there's more women in place to make different changes, I just feel like naturally over time, what's going to happen is these policies are going to become more friendlier to women, that women are going to get the equal pay raise, because just by numbers, you can't just search out every guy in a company, or every guy, and then place them in corporate companies. You have to have qualifications. At the end of the day, it's about $1, and then you have more women opening up businesses now. Like, women are the majority. So what I'm saying is,
because how does that help the black family?
My point is, we're going off of what type of infrastructure, because in the future, I see all of the rules getting changed to cater to a woman. Then at that point, who needs who?
Do you understand my question?
I know, I understand. I'm saying a healthy family, just so we clear, is a family that has a nucleus of a man, a woman, and children. So if you're moving in the space that you're saying right now, that's further and further away from the nucleus. And matter of fact, you've been moving that way. What we saying in 1971, what you saying actually happened. Mm-hmm. So what Kevin Samuel is saying, for when women come and say, well, this is what's gonna happen, he's saying y'all ran that already. Where y'all had all the best, the jobs, the education, the most graduates, the Section 8, the everything you can imagine. And now you're saying, well, we're gonna do it again. And we're saying we're suffering from that right now. And I'm agreeing with him. On that behalf of the black family, we're suffering to run that back again. Meaning that, okay, run it back where the black woman get everything that she wants, be a boss, you know what I'm saying? And then again, the nucleus of the family is still not patched up. But I think it's because we're not dealing with the fact that the reality of the situation has changed. We keep talking about the nucleus is meant to evolve. So what I'm saying is, as of right now, if we're talking about just surviving, then that means that we have to adapt to what the current social statuses are, what advancements are available for whichever gender in the nucleus. If we're talking about, so if
like right now, give me an example. If things are going on and this is 25 years from
what I'm saying is the fact. So I think what makes Kevin Samuel's point so controversial is the fact that he's pressing on the fact that women have to do more just to meet a man in the middle. What?
No. That's part of it. His main thing is that women need men.
But what I'm go ahead.
That's the main. That's the main
I'm
one
gonna
right there.
come here. I'm gonna come in here. I'm gonna slide in here real quick because I feel like I can feel both sides of it. Like I fuck with Kevin Samuel's values and some of his messages, and I also personally, as Moody, agree. And then there's the other side of it where I'm a woman and like if you yelling at me, I'm not really gonna receive that information. You know what I'm saying?
But does it make the information any less valuable?
But I'm not. I just said I valued it, so that's not even a question.
Gotcha.
My point is, I think that what Lana is saying from a female standpoint, if we're talking about the way that Kevin Samuels is portraying what the healthy black family and healthy black women should be, she's saying, well, in the future, if everything is equalized and we progress and we're a progressive, area, like technically survival, if we're talking about basic survival, then like I'm already doing that. So that's not something that might change. However, in my opinion, I do kind of agree. I get what she's saying, but in my opinion with that, I think that what you're saying is on a basic level also, like structurally based off of his values and what the black family, the healthy black family is, and what's happening in the black community with women and how they are.
Can I expand on that, or because you're merging the points, but I kind of gotta slide in. We're discussing, actually, to be more accurate, we're talking about what he feels that the black family needs to survive, and people may have their different opinions on what they feel the black family needs. Now, if women are going, that's why I tried to use your point as a great example, and not in a sarcastic or negative way, but actually positive. Okay, let's just say it started trending in that direction. What like me and what I believe and what Kevin Samuels believes is that you still become dependent on a system.
Well, that's where I was trying to go with it.
Because when you look at the history, when you look at historically, when you look at the stats and the numbers, it puts women at a complete fragile position because the jobs and the things that you're getting and that you're receiving is still now contingent on the impact that man is making on the world. It's still the impact that people are making on the world. Does it make as far as the impact in related to jobs, political impacts, impacts related to what's available. And like you said, women are picking jobs that in the future are not popping like that. You guys are picking a lot of jobs in communication. You guys are picking a lot of jobs that will be ousted out. And he says that all the time. And when you study the trend in economics, he's saying that the jobs y'all picking and doing well, they're not going to be available in the future. You know what I'm saying? That's like when I was younger, Muggs was telling me they're going to have things called computers. It was a joke to me. Like, it was like, yeah, get out of here. He was like, nah. A guy walked up and like, nah, he showed me his computer. It was a big box. And he was like, nah, this is going to be the future. And it was boring. It was green. And for you to tell me that all this world out here, all this brightness, all this life I'm living, you saying it's going to turn into that was a joke to me. So that's that's why I like the part of, like I said, he brings facts, surveys, and statistics. That's what makes him at 500,000. It's not his personality. I'm agreeing with y'all. It's not the way he comes. Well, sometimes it's not even. Sometimes his opinions on things ain't even right.
Well,
like real talk. Like he be saying some shit that we can get on the next segment. You know what I'm saying? But he be saying some. After Roy Smith,
Yeah.
Do you have anything to say?
I'm gonna chime in here. We're about halfway through the show so far. Actually, so good timing. You got an internal timer, huh?
Yeah, man. I was feeling that heat. You know what I mean? Because I do want to get on the parts that I think he makes people confused.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I really want to do this first segment and base it on, hey, you know what? These are what his principles are. This is where he's trying to do. You know what I mean? I want to be clear. That's why I'm standing very firm on what he is, and he's 100% correct. It takes the fact that the woman in the black community, because she's the one that's in the most danger. It's not the white woman. It's not the Latin woman. You know what I'm saying? It's the black woman. Well, why is she in the most danger? Because she's the one that's in feud with her man. So if right now a whole group of Asians or Latin women become all of a sudden in the next 10 years at odds with their males, they're going to be subjective to the world. They're going to be subjective for the pickings.
But I feel like that's also because, for so many years, like black women were the ones that were taking like if a black man goes outside and he has to deal with the world, the person that he lashes out on typically was the black woman, who then had nowhere. So my point is,
they were being abused.
My point is, and this is, and
because we were the most loving group statistically.
Okay, so from what I've seen, and like I said, my life was, interesting, but from what I've seen, even like when I saw like black couples that were married for so long, when I started to hear just the stories and just certain things that happened, it's like what I found was a reoccurring theme. And I'm not saying that anybody necessarily was beat up, or I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is the black man goes out in the world and he had to deal with so much shit. And then you come home and you have to release that shit. Yes. Well, then who was the one he was releasing it to? Now, whether that man was able to control how he released it
is that negative?
I think
what roles is she supposed to play? If you just
if you don't know how to release that, and you because if you don't
control of like really,
because
we talking about some, I want you to be clear.
What, so what I'm saying is, because
you're talking about a man that's not in control, or just
because so we talk about what a black man has, even growing up, it's all what a black man goes through, understand, we're conditioned, as I feel like as a woman, to understand the plight of a black man. What I'm saying is, when you partner with somebody and that person, which most of us are not able to communicate with our emotions, most of us are not able to even understand ourselves in that manner, and then they release this plight that we have been told, and it's an expectation for then the black woman to understand, because who else is going to get it? I feel like it turns into a negative experience where then the woman is expected to then carry what I'm carrying, and not in a way where not in a way where it's also, not in a way where it was reciprocated.
No, you're 100%.
So then it became your shit is my shit and my shit is my shit.
On that particular scenario, with the way you broke that down, that's correct. Now you got the whole other way where black men have found out, I meet this person, she got daddy issues. And what we found out is that all the women want to dump their emotional issues and baggage that they got.
Wait, you said that women have daddy issues.
No.
That the women they're finding out the women have.
No, I said that when a situation happens, I said that when a situation, just like she's talking about a situation,
right.
She's not talking about how it all goes. She's just saying a situation. So I'm just countering her point.
Yeah.
There are situations where men are running around here. When I was younger, and I'm dealing with baggage from an individual or girlfriend that I ain't got. I have nothing to do with it.
Right.
So I think it puts those situations at a stalemate, because now it goes down to how we've experienced it. I'm respecting both of them, but it puts it at a stalemate, and that's why again it goes back to Kevin Samuels again, because now it's gonna be like, how do you supersede this stalemate? And we could get back to it.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
But that's really what I want to get into. Like, it's at a stalemate.
Yeah.
And no matter how we like it, there's a move that's being made, and we got to acknowledge what's the move.
Yeah, you read my mind with that, because I look at it as he obviously strikes a nerve. You can see this conversation that we're having right now is a very lively conversation. And what he's saying is striking a nerve. I think one of the main things that he's doing is he's causing people to look in the mirror. And when you cause somebody to look in the mirror and reflect and assess where they're at, a lot comes with that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Good, bad, and indifferent. When you have to look in the mirror and really look at where you are in life, what your goals were, what you accomplished, what you didn't accomplish, what you failed at. You know what I mean?
And that's what his numbers are. That's why he's uncomfortable, because his numbers.
Because people are looking at him. He's setting scales out there, and people are assessing themselves based upon those scales that he's setting out there. Yep. Whether they agree with the scale or not, they're still putting themselves on that spectrum.
In that space.
Yeah.
Because they know they have to.
Right.
They know that they know to continue to go on and ignore that means that you're ignoring really assessing something, or it means that you're afraid. Yeah. So once you become fearful, then you're already popped. Yeah. And I just think what he puts out there is the scale of saying, hey, everybody, like, that's why I called it the Black Holocaust, because we're all a part of it. Like, once you listen to him, there's something he's saying that you can reflect on, and that's really, you know what I'm saying? That's really what I think that we all get out of it, is that there's something to reflect on, but it's that we tend to lean on what we don't like, and that's the part that I've always. Even on business IQ that we're going to talk about in one of our topics, is that it's not about what you don't like. You got to focus on, when you're talking about using resources that are around,
Yeah.
not life. In life, you have to understand what you don't like. But when you're talking about living, producing objectively with the resources around, you have to take and be grateful for what you actually literally have. So we have to take that as a building block.
Right.
So that's why I wanted to have this thing, because it's all about what we don't like about them. And all I want to say is that what do we like? What, you know what I'm saying? Because it's evident that there's something valid. We don't like something about everybody, but we barely all like something. You know what I'm saying? Like we all like something about the guy. You know what I'm saying? There's something we like about, even if it's challenging, even if he forces us to look at something, even if he can say something that we don't want to say, that he can say that I could disagree with, but it's still putting something out there that I think it's liberating us. I honestly think it's actually causing us to say, I want to tell somebody how I feel, because we can keep saying Kevin Samuels, but it's really somebody else in our life. Like when I look at him, like what he's saying, it's really somebody for me. I can say it's Kevin Samuels, but he the messenger. But bro, I'm saying every time I look at dude, I'm like, I can always slide myself in a situation.
And I think a lot of times too, he's saying things that people have been thinking or think all the time.
Yeah.
And he says it, and it's like, oh shit, I can't believe he actually said that.
Yeah,
like,
now to build on that part, this is the cons. This is the part. These are some, not even the cons, but some of the obscurities that I got with him. If y'all want to chime in on that, okay? When he when he do the assessment on what it costs to take care of a kid, and he's talking about different people from all across the country and sometimes the world. His numbers be off. His numbers do not be practical to me, especially when you coming from impoverished areas.
How much? Like how much?
Each kid is $250,000.
Lifetime?
and
He said lifetime, right?
No, he's
for
saying
18 years.
to 18 years. You know what I'm saying? He's saying each kid is $250,000. Okay. If you are a foundational Black American and you've been in this country, you know damn well, possibly that your parents, if it's 3-4 kids, you know damn well that your parents didn't pull $1 million out their ass. You know what I'm saying? So as far as him utilizing what it'll take to have a high value man.
What is the so when he says $250,000 over the course of 18 years, what quality of life is that?
That's what I'm really talking about.
Because there's levels of quality of life.
The mid-America quality of life.
Okay, the middle.
You know
okay.
what I'm saying?
So middle class, middle America.
He's saying upper middle class. Because he traps people. This is the trap he do, and he'll trap you by asking you what you want. And when you tell him what you want, you're giving descriptions that fit. And this is the part that y'all are uncomfortable with. He's giving descriptions that fit his ranking, his scope, and that's what makes it not a 360.
I have two things
You know
to
that
say
I think that's one thing that he does that I can agree with women is that once you ask a woman what she wants based on her inhibitions, then you understand that what she wants and how real it is for her to get that. You don't sometimes give women a chance, because when you ask them what they want, they don't have enough opportunity for dialogue to explain that sometimes.
I have a question about Kevin Samuels. Like, because I don't know, where did he come from? What is his background? Just out of curiosity, particularly related to his values, questions, and points. And then also, another thing I wanted to say is, hey, if you have your own show, your own scale, your own information, then you really can do whatever the fuck you want. And I think that's what he's doing. And I think that, his personality shows that. So, I wanted to just say that. But also, I want to know where he comes from. Like,
he comes from Colorado. He comes from the only child in the household.
Okay.
He says he's been part of the only child syndrome, where he was,
Were his parents together?
No, he never was with his dad.
Okay.
He had cancer at 23. He's a cancer survivor. He was married, I believe, once or twice.
Twice, I think.
It's twice.
Twice. He was married twice.
Why did his marriages fail?
I don't know about that. But as far as more of a backdrop on what created him probably before the marriages, he was a very sharp, intelligent college student and a very sharp student. I know his academics were high, so he's a A-type personality. And I think A-type personalities usually don't get this kind of platform. A-type personalities are builders, doers. You know what I'm saying? They're usually out there, kind of making things, building, making money, impacting things. But as far as getting and turning it into more of an entertainment thing, I think that's what's unique about him, is he's an A-type personality that's more visual, and kind of somewhat transparent.
Right.
And I think that's what makes him unique, is that most people in the black community, we don't get to see a professional that's gonna put on a suit every motherfucking time and not gonna miss a time, or gonna be match the criteria, as well as even here Fibonacci Live. And me as Alchemist, I got work to do. You know what I mean? You guys are great hosts. You guys are the camera crew, the supporters. And so, even how he impacts me to say there's a higher presentation of excellence.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that anytime somebody is out there and gonna say, I'm the one that exemplifies that, you're gonna get attacked. I don't give a fuck what you do. The minute you say I'm that number, I'm the example, fuck with me, oh, you gonna get attacked. You know what I'm saying? And that's the nature of it.
I guess that's why I had the question, because I want to know how is he the example, and how did he come to set all of these standards that everyone's mad about? Because you can't be mad at everyone's
because what he does is he has a business IQ. His business IQ is high. So what he does is he goes in there and he explains not what people think gonna happen or think is going on in the world. We move on how we feel. We don't even count our budgets and budget our checking accounts very fairly. So when he starts talking about the real things and not the fake numbers, like when I'm in the barber industry, when barbers say they made $1,500 that week in 2000, you made it during the holiday season, or you made it during a certain point, or you had that one good day. Barbers will have 2 good days in a row and say, this what they make. And then the baby mama be like, well, I thought you said you made, or a dope dealer, you know what I'm saying? Or a scammer, or a car cracker. Well, what happens with us is that's why he always say, tell me what you made for 3 years in a row. So I love these little nuances that he causes us as a people to keep it real, because anybody can hit a lick for a year. He's saying that's not real. So we tend to don't like that. We tend to say, well, who are you to say, because he's telling you what the success rate of that is, the realism of who you really are. So when he starts putting out these numbers, it makes the black community uncomfortable, because we creating what the fuck we want to create. Real talk. We got LLCs. We got everything. We're not professional. We don't really know about ABC, always be closing. You know what I mean? We have no certain levels of etiquette and professionalism or business IQ. And he's coming with that. And most people think that shit boring. They think most blacks are agitated by hardcore professionalism. We're really agitated by that shit. So when we see somebody up in there that completely looks like a snob ass salesman, he looks like an opportunist. And I think that's what makes you, I wanted to make that point, that I believe that's what y'all feel a little bit, is that sometimes he comes off as an opportunist. He comes, but the only thing that gives him a credit is that he was doing it so long and wasn't getting the attention before it. And I went back and I looked at his old episodes, and he was saying the same shit at 7,000 and 12,000 and 20,000 views. You know what I mean? So that's what made me know, now dude believe in this. You know what I'm saying? He lived it. He lived it. He was, like you said, let's tell us more about him. He was the lame. He was the dude that thought he was something and the girl dogged him. Okay, a large part of what he's getting, a lot of his content, is from being that person.
Well, that makes him an authority to some degree.
Well, that makes him sharp. I learned what I learned from getting my heart broke. You know what I'm saying? So and amongst other experiences. So when you talk about somebody that's been on both sides of the coin, that played the lame, you know what I'm saying, that also played the I think I'm the cool guy, but again, he was trying to find himself. So I think women can notice that this is a man that at 50 seems to have got into stride with his identity, and he's kind of seems like he's flaunting it. You know what I'm saying? It kind of comes off like, well, I'm flaunting the facts, whether you like it, bitch, or not. It's the truth.
Would you say he's since he had his own self-discovery, is he trying to encourage people in his own way of finding their own self and discovering themselves, since he did that?
No, because he took the time to ask hundreds and hundreds of men what they felt.
Gotcha.
If this was a dude that came out of nowhere and was just like, these my experiences, this what the fuck I'm on, these are the facts, I'm dropping it. Hey, I can understand it, but he had already put in work on the other side. He had already put in work with, like y'all saying, check these niggas out here. You know what I'm saying? He was on that end. He was on that end. Then he got to the quality niggas.
Yeah.
Because all of them wasn't. Then he started finding, okay, I can't keep dealing with the toxic whack people. I have to deal with the quality people. Then he found out, okay, we got to start with quality to extend out quality. So the first thing he does is come in and presents himself as quality. What's going to always be the below average motherfucker that can say
Yeah, and that's why.
it's always going to be the toxic people that are going to run and say, I want to take them. And I think a lot of women out there try to take them down.
Well, because my thing is like I've listened to some conversations where if I was that woman's friend, like I would have told her the same. Like so that's like I don't
but women
necessarily.
like you, not that I know personally.
Yeah.
But women like you that kind of have that ability to have that range. Y'all don't really have a lot of female friends. I can't say
Yeah,
you personally.
I don't.
You know what I'm saying? I can't say y'all personally, but I'm just saying women. When I talk to certain women,
but the women that are in my life, it's I can count. It's not even on one.
In between.
But when I do click with someone, when I tell them the truth. Whether they know what I'm saying is like this is so that's why when I am able to watch him and like some of the things I do. I agree because if a female,
me personally, I know that.
Yeah,
Lana,
like
Lana
so
fuck with him. I know you fuck with him.
because my thing is like just be honest with yourself. I'm all about being honest with yourself, and I'm the type of friend where I don't have time to talk to you about the same problem every day. So if you're gonna call me and you want to talk to me about something, I'm all about the resolve. What's the solution? Because I got shit to do, and in my mind, so do you, because we're not where we're supposed to be. So if that means that I listen to your story. And you say, am I tweaking? And I go, yeah, and this is why. And I'm going to break down why you tweaking.
Yeah. But this is the point that where you and him side.
That's what I'm saying.
No. I'm saying no. This is where you and him side because he says black women don't hold black women accountable. He had a whole two things on that. He said it's not just. He said y'all don't tell each other.
Right.
It wouldn't be no Kevin Samuels if y'all really was honest. He was like, you guys aren't honest with each other.
Yes.
So he said, that's where I come into play. You know what I'm saying? Meaning that's what I'm saying. There's not a lot of Lanas out there. That's not real.
Right.
That's not the reality of it.
That's the downside of the supportive, queen.
That's the point. That's the downside of it is that all that power, but he said that's what he asked. He said, "What y'all?" He said, "Y'all getting all that together."
But that's why, like, and just going into that, where it's certain women movements that you're trying to hide behind empowerment. This is not empowerment. Like
I think we can all agree on that.
So because it's like, okay, y'all link up and y'all go to brunch, whatever.
No,
y'all
but
do
he said
audience.
those moves are the disillusional factors that propel women into not understanding that they're in trouble. You know what I'm saying? Running the brunch and talking bullshit over and over, and then having a daughter.
But that's what I'm saying, because if you notice, like with these type of women, it's a very there's a superficial. It's more I'm showing you guys this is what I do, because the truth of the matter is I guarantee you it's only 2 of them that are real friends, and the rest of them are fucking associates. And it's literally just to say I go out to brunch with my, like when you're as a female, when I'm around just certain things or I get invited out, I don't fit in because I can feel this is not real. You know what I'm saying? Like
chicks, though.
Right, but what I'm saying is because I feel like women are in competition to prove that they got something going on with themselves. This goes back to the obsession with women bagging $1 million man or whatever. It's like, is because at this point, for me, sometimes it comes to question, the man is irreplaceable. It's just what you feel like these material things or what someone does for you and where you're at, you're allowing that to value who you are as a woman. So if a man doesn't buy me a car, does that make me less valuable? And I feel like it's the illusion that I'm just as valuable as her. That's why I'm gonna go run and do the same thing. Like even if you look like right now, with the surgeries, with just the way women, where's the personality? I go on Instagram now and everybody looks the same. It's like you guys are in competition with each other to the point where a man is irrelevant. He not even in the factor for real.
Well, that's the issue. And that's the whole banger of this whole thing. Kevin Samuels is saying exactly what you said.
That's like I agree.
When you start thinking that the man is irrelevant, then you're not pushing towards Black Lives Matter. When you in here talking about you can do this and do that, and man, that's when a person don't really care about Black lives. And that's what the rest of the world and the other ethnic groups and the other cultures, when they see our Black woman acting like they don't need a man, then they understand that they're basically not believing in Black thing. So when they say the word nigger, I'm just telling you how to talk
but
to
my
some
thing
other...
is, but my thing is like I don't. But this is where because there's a difference between me shaming a man and or is it when you say not needing a man, because the women that I'm no what I'm saying is the women that I'm talking about who I feel like I don't need a man, but that does not mean I don't need a man to survive as far as what I have going on. However, I understand that the dynamic that I want requires a man because this is the dynamic that I choose to have in my life. So what I
want you to include something. We're talking right there.
Right.
Okay, right there is that key point. Now, if you're going for a family, include that person, because that's the person that may want a family and not want a family.
Right. So what I'm saying is then you have women who, let's say they decided to take the journey of like, by themselves or whatever. But that does not mean that Kevin Samuels' standards apply to me because I'm so confident in what I have going on, sweetheart. Those rules don't. So it's the women that are not happy where they want to be. They want all of these things superficially from a man, but in reality, and this is when I say it's not even about the man. You're trying to prove in your mind you think these things is what gives you value.
But here's the issue.
Coming up on 10 minutes. 10 minutes.
So, but here's the issue. Here's the issue. When you ask most women, do you want to be married or do you want a man? 9 out of 10 want a man. Now, we can say now that it's not about a man, but if you go statistically right now and do 100 women and ask them really deep down inside, do you want a man? 9 out of 10 going to say they want a man.
Well,
so that's what makes this.
But my question is, just because 9 out of 10 say they want a man, what is the reason behind wanting that man?
I'm not talking about that. I ain't talking about the reason. I'm just saying, ultimately the baseline, meaning that women get pretty, women do these things. It ain't this just for me. It's because women want to attract the attention of a man. If men didn't get women attention, then you think they're gonna be like.
But see, that's where I feel like. Then that's why I said what is the purpose of wanting a man? Because
for family.
No. I mean, I get what you're saying, but if we're addressing the fact that a woman feels the need to get dressed to then attract a partner, to then build a family, in my opinion, that's not an independent woman. That's not a woman who is genuinely 100% in love and in love with herself and understands herself. Because if I get dressed in the morning, what I'm saying is, like, if I get dressed in the morning, like, it's some days I get dressed and some days I don't get dressed. I get hollered at when I'm not dressed up and when I'm dressed up or what. So it comes to a point where it's like even when I was single, I'm not getting dressed to attract what I like. I'm gonna attract it regardless because of the energy I put out, because of the development that I've allowed myself to have. So when you have women that are getting dressed and going out for the sole purpose to catch somebody, in my mind, we already done fucked up the nucleus of a black family because of your intention.
See, I disagree. I disagree because I think that you have to compete. I think in nature and in this world alone, males, females, mating, there has to be a competition. There has to be something where a person can't feel like they can just roll out and snatch a mate and keep walking. I think that if the energy is sent off like, hey, you know what, that could be secondary. I think the prime, like a primary existence is for someone to go out there and compete. Men have to compete for our woman. We have to go out there and show her that we standing on something. Well, a woman got to show what we want from a woman. It's not her bossness. It's not her money. You know what I'm saying? It's her. It's the way she carries herself, the way she presents herself, the way she delivers. I'm just saying what men want.
Not these new men. They come right around in text time.
Those are males.
No, I'm just thought it be funny, but I just thought it out there.
No, that's fine. But those are males. Men do. There's no unfortunate part about that. Real men do. Males, and the problem is that women choose males. You know what I'm saying? It can have
males feel like they're entitled to the same things that men should probably receive.
Absolutely. Just like hoes that think they're entitled to be married.
And that's, I think,
hoes be like, well, I'm done with that, man. I'm finna go get. It's like you deserve all the same thing that the other girl who sacrificed, who chose to make better decisions, who chose to think a little more. You just get to be. To me, that's not even real. You know what I'm saying?
But I think, unfortunately, it's more common than what we want to admit. I think that's where the chord is struck with Kevin Samuels, because it's like you're talking about in my opinion, a group of people where right now, like, they're the minority.
What group?
Like, as far as like quality, we're talking about quality and quantity is always something different. So Kevin Samuels, in his advice for men to want a certain standard, is for a quality of man, but the quality is not as big as the quantity or the majority of men who are males. So then you have a group of males who are saying, well, I deserve this shit too. And it's like, sir, no, you don't. Let's draw the line, because you're not this person.
No. That's, you take it. All
Like,
you saying is 100% fact. But here's the bad spin on that one.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, I like to agree with Lana 100%, and Moody, you chime in. I think that the point Lana's making is that people only get to pick out of the pot that they in. Okay, I think that's the thing.
Yeah.
Here's where the caveat comes in. So Kevin Samuels is saying, if you want to get out that pot,
Yeah, step your shit up.
Step your shit up.
I agree.
That's looking in the mirror.
I
Looking in the
agree,
And what we
yeah.
saying is most women is saying, I ain't gotta step my shit up because shit gonna get better for me, because it's getting better for women. That's when it become because now you're not competing anymore. You know what I'm saying? Now and it's all based on the choices of picking that male instead of man. You know what I'm saying? And they're like he's saying, all of us come out the Black Holocaust, so we all come from a trauma. Picking a bad mate or picking a baby daddy or baby, and it's like part of that is that we got to take an L because of that. Do you know we don't want to take an L? Like, I'm mature enough to know in my life when I was young, I can't move how. Do you know we out here and don't want to? And I'm saying, I say we, I'm saying the women, because the women have the children most of the time around them, whether they left with them, whether they didn't want them. I don't know about that part, but you can't really feel like the position that you're in is equal to somebody that's moving in a different manner. Meaning that, let's just say a woman with 2 kids and another woman with 2 kids. Just because there's a woman there with 2 kids don't mean that they're moving the same. No, real talk.
No, I agree.
But the problem is that there are less women that got the 2 kids that's moving with sense. It's the percentage is so low that it makes it dangerous for the Black community.
Good point. Let's hear what we come up on 5 minutes left in the show. Roughly, let's hear what Moody has to say. I know you said you had some points.
I kept hearing competing, and that's something that I've been taking from this, is that I think that women think that they don't have to compete, and that also is driven by the woman empowerment, the delusional woman empowerment, not the
real one,
version
yeah.
of it.
Oh, okay.
The brunches on Sundays and the, okay girl, oh my God, like you're crazy, like okay, that you probably shouldn't have done that, but I'm gonna just,
TikTok.
it's cool, whatever. TikTok dance, I don't know, but I think that what Kevin Samuels says is of value to the particular community of Black people that are looking and needing these values and these two parts to work together in order to create a healthier environment and standards generally for our community, like whether it's now or in the future. I think that's a great thing. And I've also seen a lot of videos of his where there's women on there drunk talking about I have all of this stuff and you chose to be on there and get flamed. That's on you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's his show. And he is who he is. I think that if we took, how Lana said earlier, men's into consideration more, then this problem, like how you were saying, maybe not be so agitating and relevant socially with this. But I really, I'm not on both sides of the fence, but I can see as from a woman's
So
perspective.
are you team Kevin Samuels or not?
Am I what?
Team Kevin Samuels or not?
No, I am Team Kevin Samuels.
Team Kevin
but
Samuels?
I don't agree with everything that he says.
Hold on.
I fuck with him personally because that's his opinion.
Okay,
And
hold on.
There's a girl on YouTube I actually watch, and her thing is called "My Opinion Will Probably Offend You," and she's like, "This is a video," and every time she starts it, she's like, "At least in my opinion, will probably offend at least one of you."
So you team Kevin
That's
Samuels?
Kevin Samuels.
You team Kevin Samuels?
As far as like his philosophies apply to mine, like when we
Yes,
say team, what do we mean?
That's exactly what I'm saying. I don't mean.
Wait.
I don't agree with his philosophies. I don't disagree with the I don't disagree with things that he says that makes people uncomfortable. Like I think that's needed regardless of what gender it is.
Right.
What? No, so when we talking philosophy, I take it as like genuinely what he believes and not his delivery. Like, cause I can want to tell the truth and then my philosophy be fucked up and just find examples of truth to deliver a fucked up. Like, so I don't necessarily like I don't agree with Kevin Samuels, but I don't with his philosophy, but I also don't feel like I fit to the people that come up. So it just it doesn't. I get it, but I feel like some of it just doesn't apply to me. So I can't say I agree with his philosophy because I didn't did that groundwork. So I'm not there. I'm somewhere else with it. So.
Well, I think that to wrap it up, Wordsmith, if you have anything else to say, but I think to wrap it up is that Kevin Samuels affects the whole black community, and I still think that no matter who you are, he got a scenario for your ass. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing.
Yeah.
He has a scenario for the chick that did this, for the chick that did this, for the nigga that did that. So if you can relate to any one of those things, then either he's on the right side of the fence or the wrong side of the fence. You know what I'm saying?
Provoking that thought and self-reflection is important.
Yeah, because most of his thing, to wrap it up to me, is just he's just holding people accountable for their actions.
Yeah.
He making people responsible. So what people have is that no, that happened, but this why, and you don't care.
Yeah.
And he don't care. And I think that's the insensitive part that women don't like. Is he's saying, your baby daddy beat you. So what? You should have stayed with him.
Some of it is
that's
just
some wild
his
shit. You know what I'm saying? Like he be like, to me, that's some. I be looking at him like, man, how she gonna stay with a nigga that buked her? You know what I'm saying? But he's doing what Charleston White doing. He's going into character to cause an impact, to get something out you. You know what I'm saying? And and at that point,
yeah,
that's part of the entertainment part.
Yeah, because you have to remember
That's
that too.
You know what I'm saying? So I think
It's a good point, Moody.
that's what But man, this was a dope.
It was.
Dope.
I want to make a couple of announcements. You know what I'm saying? So, as always, we always have a lot of great things going on here at the gallery. So, thegalleriadearte.com is a website. Friday nights, we have Sippin' Socials. Saturday nights, we have Art of Noise Lounge. Sundays, come kick it with us in the space here for Fibonacci Live. We also have a brand new thing here at the gallery where folks can order your favorite meal via Grubhub, DoorDash, or Uber Eats for these events. So you can eat whatever you want and still enjoy the space. Yeah, most definitely.
Chill, relax, audio, scrimps.
Exactly, and then you can't find that anywhere else. So that's definitely something that the gallery has going for it. That's a very unique
I think
thing.
that's dope.
It's very, very unique. Shout out to Aranda and Denzel in the chat, as always, providing great perspective. And to the rest of our Fibonacci Radio and Galleria de Arte team, again, I said Aranda, but Z, Terrence, Ruben, Manny, Esteban, and our brand ambassadors, Kels, Michelle, Prolific Lee, and happy belated birthday to Jay.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, Jay, man.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. This Fibonacci Live here at the gallery with Alchemist, Moody, and always Lana with the Wordsmith and the crew. Thank you guys. Tune in next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Let's get it. Good show.
That was a good show.
Very, very.